Okay, so we are going to go over stretches for the neck in the seated position. I like to do it at a chair so that I have some traction that I can pull off of it, but you can do it sitting on the cross-legged on the ground, and you can use your legs as traction, or you can do it sitting on an exercise ball, whatever kind of floats your boat. So what we're going to start with, feet flat on the ground. You're going to reach underneath the chair, and keeping your shoulder blades nice and set, we're going to start with the upper trap. So that's bringing your right ear to your right shoulder, so opposite of the arm that is kind of pulling up on the chair to create traction. You should feel a nice stretch through here. You don't want it to be too painful, you just want it to feel like a nice stretch. Work within your comfort zone for sure. Do what works for your body. If you need a bit more, you can bring that opposite hand up and just kind of ever so slightly pull down on the head to create a bit more traction there. And then you're going to move into levator scapula stretch, which is, I like to call sniffing the armpit. You should feel it kind of pull right through the back of the neck where the levator scapula inserts, and then down into the top of the shoulder blade. Same thing, you can create a bit more traction if you need to by using that other hand to pull down on the head. So I'm a big fan of movement stretching. Do what works for you. You can either hold those stagnant or do a bit more of a flow. That's kind of my style. I prefer to do it that way, but that's just personal preference. So any of these stretches I give you, you can work into movement or stagnant. Make sure you're breathing. And if you are holding stagnant, anywhere from 30 to a minute, 30 seconds to a minute is good. Good. Okay. Next stretch is going to be a simple chin tuck. So actually I'll move to the side here. So shoulders are set, and all you're doing is creating a chin tuck. The more chins, the better. And you should feel a stretch kind of up through the back, high up into the back of the neck where the suboccipitals are. And relax. Breathe. You can even add some rotation in if you want to get all parts of those suboccipitals. Breathe. Good. Okay. Now so a lot of us with back tension, we also need to open up the front part. If the front part is shortened from our rounded forward posture, the back side is getting stretched out. This side is getting compressed and shortened. So we need to open up this side to allow the back side to relax. So sitting in a chair, really easy, bring your arms back over the side of the chair and push in with your hands into the back of the chair. So I'll also show this from the side. So arms back, push in, and you can even kind of lean forward, lean back, do some movement. You should feel a nice pull right through here. Of course, be careful if you have any shoulder injuries. Just kind of know your limits. But you should feel a nice opener right through the front part of the chest. So a really good stretch for the scalenes, which are, we have 3 scalenes on each side of our neck. And anybody dealing with some numbness and tingling into the hand, or down to the arm at all, any type of tension up through here, these muscles can be compressing the nerves and causing some of that tension, or numbness or tingling into the hands and arms. So this is a great one for people who are having those types of symptoms. So what you're going to do is shoulders set, you're going to look up and away, and you can actually use your hand and pull right up against your collarbone. So collarbone is here, you're just on the inside part of the collarbone, and I like to actually massage them almost as I'm stretching back. And then we'll do the other side. So again, collarbone just on the inside. And then you're kind of looking up and away and letting your head drop backwards. This one can get uncomfortable. So I'm going to show you a couple different options. Okay, so to stretch the scalenes, another option is on the end of a bed, which is probably going to look weird. Let your head hang down and look back, and then turn your head slightly. And then I, again, like to kind of use my fingers on the inside of the collarbone and kind of do self-massage. And you should feel a nice pull right through the front part of your neck. Right through there. You can move in and out of it, doing self-massage as you move. Kind of like doing your own active release. Okay, so this stretch is for the upper back and neck. Feet flat on the floor. Again, I'm just sitting in a kitchen chair. What you're gonna do is taking a big deep breath in. You're bringing your arms up, hands in the back of your head so that your thumbs are kind of at the base of your neck. Elbows nice and wide. Take a good deep breath here and bring those elbows a little wider, bring that chest a little higher. And then as you exhale, you're gonna bring your elbows forward so that they touch, try to touch, and then slowly start to bring your head down, chin into your chest, and roll your back forward. You can even kind of tilt your pelvis and just let gravity pull your head forward. Take a big deep breath. I'm just going to show you from the side. Again, go within your pain-free range of motion. You should feel this all along the back of your neck, even down into the middle of your back potentially. So another really good stretch for that upper back when you're getting tired sitting at your desk. You're gonna grab the front side of your chair, feet flat on the ground. You're gonna bring your chin to your chest and slowly roll those shoulders forward, collapse the chin into the chest. You can lean forward and pull up on that chair, bottom of the chair, to really create a lot of tension through the back. I'll do it from this side. And then lean. You can lean away to create a lot of traction. You should feel a nice pull through here. Then you roll that chin down and you should feel the neck as well. Okay, so this is kind of a seated twist. It's good for low back, thoracic, mid-spine, but we're gonna kind of focus on the neck. So what you're gonna do is cross one leg. We'll do left over right, keeping that right foot flat on the ground. I kind of scooch forward so that I have some space in the back side of my chair to put my hand. And then with this, your right hand, you're just gonna push against that left knee and twist that upper body. Push up with your left hand against the chair so that you're kind of raising up and you're thinking about a string pulling the top of your head up and lifting that heart. And then you're gonna turn to the right with your head, raise the heart, push up on the back left hand, deep breaths. Good, and then do the other side as well. Okay, so now we're gonna go over a really easy chest stretch to do. So I had mentioned before, if we have rounded shoulders, our chest muscles get really shortened. These guys get pulled back and weakened, so we need to strengthen those and bring them back, and we need to stretch out this front part so that those shoulders can sit back and everything is as neutral as possible. So really simple, I'm in a doorway here. I'm on either side, my elbows are at 90, and I'm stepping through. So you can kind of This one's really easy to kind of gauge your own tension. You can back off to make it a little easier, step more forward to really feel a pull through this front part. So 90 degrees, you can bring it up to get a totally different part of the muscle. You can bring it down again to get a different part of the muscle. So it's okay if your forearms, you can see my left arm, my forearm isn't totally on the door. That's okay. I'm working the different angles. Everything should be pain-free, and breathe. From this position, so this one's great to do. I tell people if you're going to the bathroom, do this stretch as you're heading into the bathroom. Really easy, no excuse not to do it. Every time you walk out of your office to grab a coffee, do the stretch. That way it's really easy to get it into your day. From here, you're going to go a little more extended and work again a different part of the muscle. So arms straight, I'm just grabbing onto the side of the wall and pulling away. You should feel a nice stretch through here. Show you from this angle. Grab, arm extended, turn away. Should feel a nice stretch through there. No excuse not to do these two. So we're gonna go over a really good stretch for your posterior backside of your body. We're going to hit the rhomboids and as well as the lats. So those two muscle groups fight the upper traps and the levator scaps up in the top part of the shoulder. So those two, they're kind of antagonists to each other. So if these guys are tight, these guys are tight as well, and they kind of battle. So as much as it's important to stretch out up here, massage out here, it's also really important to try and get the lower part. So I just have my good old kitchen chair backed into almost kind of like child's pose with my palms flat on the seat. I just let gravity pull my front part of my body, my chest, my head down and really sink down, and you should feel a nice pull through the mid-back. And you can actually rotate and move around in that. So I can shift to the side and I'll feel it even more down into here. Shift to the other side. You can bring your hands at the center of the seat and kind of using that left leg, push up and dip down into the right side of the body. And go to the other side, so use that right leg, kind of shift and roll over onto that left side of the body. Feel it pull right through here. Come back to center. And then you can actually do a bit of thread the needle. So I'm bringing my left arm through and I'm dropping down. And with this right arm up on the chair, I'm feeling a nice pull through actually the front part of my chest, right down into the back side of my rib cage. And I'm also feeling it on the back side of my left shoulder. Okay, we'll come up out of that. And we'll show it from this side. So I'm going through with my right arm, collapsing down onto the floor, reaching with that left arm up on the seat, and then kind of turning my body away. So I feel a nice pull through the right side of my shoulder and that top part of my left. Then come back up. Okay, so we're gonna go over some good back stretches, low back, as well as that mid all the way to the upper. This is good for people who are having a lot of shoulder tension because the shoulders, muscles up here that are tight fight these muscles. So they kind of battle each other. So you want to, even though you might be feeling the tension up here, you do want to stretch this lower part. So I have a post, but you can use a door frame as well and just grab the sides. My right foot is up against the side of the post. I'm going to cross over with my left leg. I'm grabbing the edge. You can see my hand here on the other side, grabbing the edge of the post. And I'm bringing my left arm up overhead, trying to keep my body straight as if I was walking between two panes of glass. And then I'm leaning away. So I'm making kind of a nice C curve with my body. I should feel a nice stretch through my oblique. into the lat, which the lat attaches into this posterior side of your lower back, and just hang out here. You can move that arm at different angles depending on the range of motion you have. You might get a little deeper, more of a curve there, and see I have to come up the higher I reach. Make sure everything's pain-free. Good. And another really good one is grabbing the side of the post or the frame, the wall frame, and you're going to just lean back into it. So right now I'm focusing on my left rhomboid, posterior delt, this whole back side of the shoulder, and I'm just leaning away with my body. You can see that nice twist there, and pulling and reaching at different angles to target different fibers of the muscle. Again, your range is going to be different depending on how much movement you have through those tissues and the joint. If you find one that you really feel a pull, hang out there for a bit, just move the body. So these are just recommendations to kind of play around and find what works best for you. As long as it's pain-free and it's a nice comfortable stretch, that's all you're kind of looking for. Okay, so this exercise is really good for strengthening the muscle groups that run along the length of your spine. Those are called your erector groups, and they hold us upright. So as we're talking about all this posture stuff, it's one thing to be able to hold ourselves or put ourselves in this position, but it's another thing to sit here for a while and have the strength in those muscle groups to keep us in the proper position. So yes, there's tension because we're rounding forward and those muscles on the back are all getting really stretched out and they're tight, but typically where there's tightness, there's also weakness. So we need to strengthen those muscles so that we have the strength to be able to take ourselves from here up to here and then actually stay there for a while when we're working away at our desk. So a great one for that is called the quadruped. So you're gonna get on all fours. Okay, so hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, and you want to try and get as flat as possible. You can see arch, that's too much. So kind of hold flat, set your shoulder blades, and then from here, you're lifting up opposite arm and opposite leg. The beginner version would be doing one at a time. So leg straight, leg down, arm up, arm down. Another beginner version would be doing them at the same time, but keeping that leg on the floor. So back staying nice and flat. Now a more advanced exercise would be bringing that leg up. Good, and then the most advanced exercise would be arm and leg at the same time. Typically hold for about 3 to 5 seconds when you're up at the top and come back down. I like to do all on one side at the same time, about 10 to 12 reps, and then switch sides. Totally up to you though. Don't forget to breathe. And you can do this about three sets. So we're gonna go over a rhomboid strengthener. So the rhomboids are the muscles in between your shoulder blades and your spine, and they help keep our shoulder blades back. So I have my band anchored to my treadmill and I'm seated. I'm upright, my shoulders are set into their neutral position. So see, set, they're down and back, and then I'm squeezing back and only going as far as those shoulder blades let me. The minute my shoulder blades pop off is too far. And I should feel nice squeeze between my shoulder blades. You can do this one standing as well. I would do, 15, 20 reps, 3 sets. So even though the neck is under a lot of tension right now and really stretching feels really good, we also need to strengthen it. Like I said earlier, where things are typically tight, they're also weak. So we need to get the muscles activating to help give us that strength to hold our head up into these weird positions that we're asking it to while we're working from home. So the first one you're gonna do, hands on the floor into a kind of diamond position, triangle position, head in the middle of it. You're going to set your shoulder blades. So squeeze those blades back, see the difference? Squeeze the blades back. And then from this position, all you're doing is lifting up. Hold for about 3 to 5 seconds. Breathe. Another neck strengthener for you. Same position, fingers into a diamond, triangle, forehead down. You're gonna squeeze those shoulder blades down and back, set the blades, then you're lifting and you're adding a rotation. Hold, rotate both sides, and relax. That's 1 rep. So relax, set, lift, rotate, rotate, down. Our last neck strengthener for you, same position, our hands into triangle. You're gonna drop your forehead down, relax. Then you're gonna squeeze those shoulder blades, set them into neutral position. Then you're gonna lift your head, extend, chin drop, neutral, down. Now make sure this is pain-free. Some people can't do that extension. Just go within your pain-free range of motion. So lift, extend, chin drop, neutral, go down. Set,